Hey Indians fans, it's Haley Jordan here with our Quality Start Feature Player of the Week, first baseman Seth Beer. So before your baseball career, you had this illustrious swimming career. When did that all start for you?
I would say it started around 10, 11. I remember my mom kind of took me to the doctor because I was growing a lot as a little guy, and I was having knee problems, elbow problems and stuff, and we went to a doctor and they said, hey, like, low impact sport that can really strengthen tendons and ligaments and stuff is swimming. So that's kind of how it kind of jump started me wanting to race.
At 12 years old, you broke the 100-meter backstroke by a 4-time Olympic gold medalist, Ryan Murphy, who's at the Olympics right now. As a kid, did you understand the magnitude of that?
In the moment, no, but as I grew up and actually when I got out of the sport, I kind of figured out it was really a big deal. You know, when I was training and stuff every day, I would show up, I'd write stuff in a hat I wore. I wore hats all the time and still do. And I would write goals in my hats. And for me, my dream was always to one day break a national record. So when it came true, it was more like, okay, I did it. And then as I grew older, and I was like, man, you know, it was a pretty cool experience, not just for myself, but for my family. They were all there when I did it. You know, grandparents were there and stuff. So it was a huge deal for all of us because, you know, it takes a village, my mom always says. And, you know, there was a lot of people that were, you know, helping me throughout my life that got me even to that. So it was pretty cool.
You mentioned going to baseball games between swimming. When did you officially start to mix baseball in with this?
I got super torn by the time I was like 13. I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I love both sports the same. And they're both, you know, something that's really hard to do, and it takes a lot of determination, and you've got to grow each and every day. And thankfully, I had a coach that I was playing for baseball. His name's Paul Bird, pitched in the big leagues a long time. And he said, Seth, I think you got a swing that I think could play at the next level. And I remember one day I woke up and I was like, Ma, like, I think baseball's my calling. I think this is where I need to go. And I called Paul Bird, and he's a guy that I still lean on for things. And he was like, I think you should do it, and I think you got what it takes, and I think you got a big league caliber swing, and I think baseball could be a great path for you. And I remember hanging up the phone and I said, Mom, I think this is my dream. This is where I want to go.
And then you get to Clemson. I guess the moment you knew you were supposed to be there is when you won the Dick Howser Trophy as a freshman. What do you remember about that day?
I remember sitting in my basement with one of my childhood good friends and getting a call from my head coach, and they said, hey, you just won the Dick Howser Trophy. And I'm sitting there going, oh, what? He goes, Seth, you know, you just won the Heisman for baseball. And I remember going, really? And I remember going upstairs and telling my parents and everybody. We were all just kind of in shock at that moment because it was just like, I was just playing, you know, the best I could, and I got lucky in a bunch of occasions, and was just doing what I could on the field. And thankfully, you know, some balls fell for me when they needed to, and you know, I had some stats that supported it. But for me, it was just a surreal moment, and it kind of, at that moment, kind of said, hey, like, I think this passion and where I'm at is like, you know, this is a good decision I made.
And further validation, you get drafted by the Astros, eventually go to play for the Diamondbacks. I saw you homered in your very first game in typical you fashion, right? What was the reaction you were getting from major league teammates, coaches, and all the fans?
For me, it was just like, it was like a movie. I'll never forget that moment. And I remember swinging and taking a swing, and just the smile on my face when I saw it went into the seats. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Now you had a game versus the Cubs where you hit 3 homers. Is that your thing? Has that always been your thing, to hit all these dingers for your teams?
You know, sometimes I just get lucky and I get put in situations where, you know, I get a mistake here and there. I think for us, our team was swinging the bats, like, you know, 1 through 9. So I think it was one of those things like a pitcher just couldn't catch a break. So, you know, they might have been thinking about somebody else coming up, and I might have just caught them at a good moment. But I got 3 good swings off that day, and I was really happy with the day. For me, it was just like, I remember after the 3rd one is when guys were like, dude, what's going on? Like, what are you doing, man? And at that moment, it kind of set in. But for the most part, I try to just stay out of it and just do what I can through the most part. But I remember after that day, you know, my wife called me, you know, my parents called me, and they were just like, dude, do you understand? Like, you know, this is kind of a big deal. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm just happy we won. That's kind of where I'm at with it. And I try to keep it in that mode, because, you know, we have to play so many games and so many things happen, and so many guys are the heroes throughout the year. It's like, you know, I was just happy I could help my team win that day.
Thank you so much for sitting down and talking to us. It's Seth Beer, our Quality Start Feature Player of the Week.